We're alive.
Let's go. Who loves you, baby? Maiden and Mike do. It's 7 p.m. Easterns on Sunday. That's what. We all love you. Thanks for being here. Hey,
We
Mike, how
love
you
you
doing,
guys.
buddy?
I am doing freaking awesome. I mean, it's like what a week. What a week. I've been looking forward to this podcast from the time that we said, all right, we're scrapping Supertramp, we're going Rush. I was like, let's go. Nothing against Supertramp. I love Supertramp. But the big news this week, my God, Rush is reuniting with a new drummer and
Yeah,
going on tour.
yeah.
I mean, it's like I got my crib sheets, I got my notes, I got everything ready to rock and roll and go with that. I'm excited about it. I really, really am. So why don't you give a rundown of everybody that's in the chat first, and then we'll get going.
Perfect. Sounds good. And right off the top, we have Jim Maynor. Long time. He was my first subscriber on the channel.
Nice.
A long time friend. He said that his ex-son-in-law passed away, and he's going to console his grandson. So, Jim, my deepest condolences to
Yeah,
you and your
I'm so
family.
sorry to hear that.
And we're thinking about you and your family, my man.
Yeah.
And next, we have Zach coming in. That was his condolences because, again, Jim's been around for a long time, so we all know Jim and good friend of the channel. And Alan's here, Gradeworthy. Thanks for being here, Alan. Appreciate you. And Sydney Cat, I got your email. I quickly looked at it while I was talking to Mike before the show, and I'll circle back after on that. Hopefully, you had a great day, and your mom had a great birthday. So, if everybody, can we put some hearts in the chat for Sydney Cat, please? And
Absolutely.
she went over to hang out with her mom on her birthday, which I thought was pretty cool. We got Nature Dog Realms in here. Thanks for being here, Chris. We got Gaza all the way from the UK. It's midnight over there, so we certainly appreciate him hanging out with us
Thanks
for a
for
little bit as
staying
well.
up.
Hell yeah. And a lot of it's the usual crowd shuffling in, and we certainly appreciate you. A lot of you are longtime members of the channel as well, and we couldn't do any of this without your support and your friendship as well. So certainly appreciate it, and thanks for the hearts. And we have Matthew Pitsley coming in. Hey, Matthew, thanks for being here. He's over at Nito's channel on Wednesdays and hanging out over there, causing all kinds of ruckus. So we certainly like having him here as well. Speaking of Incognito, I don't know where he is today, but hopefully he's going to enjoy the Mariners getting their ass kicked tonight. Sorry, I had to
Let's
say
go,
it.
Jays. I gotta go with the Jays.
Let's get on this bandwagon, boys. We need as many people
I
as we
have to
can.
run with. I was hoping there was going to be a rematch of 1993 with the Jays and the Phillies, but the
Me
Phillies
too.
couldn't hold up their end of the deal. I would have loved to see the first game that Mitch Williams throws out the first pitch to Joe Carter. It didn't happen, you know.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, right. I was hoping for that myself.
yeah, I got a lot of friends from Canada. I got Stix G, Douglas Hutton, Jeff from Shaw Racing Collects, and Jason from Canadian Card Breakers, and yeah. So let's go Jays. I'm officially on the Jays bandwagon right now. But
Johnny's here. Epiphany's here. He said Mariners all the way. Of course you would. Of course you would, Johnny. Thanks for being here, buddy. I
there we
appreciate
go.
it, man. Yeah.
There we go.
We got a lot of the OG
There you
gang
go,
in
Alan.
here tonight.
I'm hoping for the Jays so Mattingly can finally get a ring. Yeah, I mean it's well overdue. I mean he definitely should have a ring. Okay, so let's get into this whole thing about Rush and the reunion. So
all right, so big news this week in the music industry. There's been a couple of really big stories. There was two involving Kiss, and then right after was the Rush announcement. So I'm going to get to this real quick. We'll get to the Rush announcement. First thing, Gene Simmons had a medical issue. He was involved in a car accident. Looks like he's going to be okay, but he's undergoing some medical problems. And also Ace Frehley fell down in the studio, but looks like he may have had a medical episode before that. So we're hoping that Ace Frehley pulls through. One of the, quintessential guitar sounds of the time. And then right after that, we hear Rush has a big announcement on their YouTube page.
So how did I find out about this? Okay. So Sunday before the podcast, I worked and then had my hockey draft. And I got a text from one of my buddies, Walt, who lived in Philadelphia, now lives on Long Island. And he sent me a text. Did you hear the announcement from Rush? I'm like, no, I didn't. What's going on? You know, he said they're reuniting. They're touring. I'm like, what? So of course I have to go to YouTube and find out what's going on. And I see Rush concert dates announced and all this other stuff. And I'm looking like, well, where are they playing? You know, it's like, okay, so they're not playing Philly. I was like a little disappointed about that. I was hoping they would play in the Philadelphia area. And then I started doing a deep dive into who is the drummer, right? And I find out that it's Annika Niles, and I have no idea who Annika Niles is. So I start taking a look at Annika Niles on YouTube and all of her videos and stuff like that, and we'll get into that. But let's take a look first about, and you know, the guys were like thoroughly excited about going back on tour. I mean, it's like they played with this drummer and they were just jamming. And then all of a sudden they started playing some Rush songs. They felt really comfortable with her. She was able to keep up with the beats and all that other stuff. And then it was like, wow, this just like gave them life, you know, after 10 years of not touring and 5 years after the passing of Neil. And like, maybe it's time we get back out there and we start reliving what we did. And, you know, how we projected our music onto the fan base. So it came out with tour dates. Now, first of all, it was 7 cities. It's still 7 cities. But it was like 2 dates in one date, 2 dates in the others, and 1 date. So because of ticket demand, it went up. So they're going to start in LA, June 7th to June 13th. It went from 2 dates to 4 dates. So they're going to play a day, take a day off, play a day, take a day off, kind of that thing. Then June 18th, they're going to go to Mexico City. And that's still 1 date in Mexico City. I don't think they've ever played in Mexico before. So that'll be something definitely different for them. Fort Worth, Texas, which is, you know, Dallas, Fort Worth. So it's the Dallas, Fort Worth area, which they filmed a concert in. So they filmed one in Dallas. They filmed one in LA. That went from 2 to 4. So that's going to be June 24th to June 30th. Same set, same kind of deal. 1 day and then a day off, 1 day and then a day off. They're going to play in Chicago from July 16th to 22nd, 4 shows there. New York, July 28th to August 3rd, 4 shows there. Toronto, August 7th to the 13th, our hometown, 4 shows there. And Cleveland went from 1 to 2. And that's going to be on September 17th and September 19th. And if it wasn't for that little radio station that needed a bathroom break song and they put on Working Man and everybody called in and said, oh, Zeppelin, when's the new album coming out? And she goes, no, Rush, new band from Canada. And the song Working Man really caught on with that blue collar town. And if it wasn't for that bathroom break, I don't think we would really ever heard of Rush.
Nobody in the U.S. would have heard of Rush for sure. That's where they broke, was in Cleveland.
That was their break into the United States, and that's what started Rush as they are. So yeah, I'm just glad that they're back. And I am going to live vicariously through YouTube and everybody out there with their iPhones and stuff like that, taking videos. I know that they're definitely going to do that'll be a DVD.
It'll
be a DVD. And it'll probably, the way that I'm looking at it, it'll be out by Christmas. It'll guaranteed be out by Christmas. So I can't wait to see that. And everybody says, well, what about the new drummer? How are they going to replace Neil Peart? The new drummer is Annika Niles, and she's from Germany. And everyone said, oh, she's just a young girl. No, she's not just a young girl. She's
42.
She's 42. She looks like a young girl. She's actually going to bring some sex appeal to a band that never really had any.
No. No. Playgirl wasn't knocking on Getty's door at any point, even when he wore that weird crocheted like moo thing or kimono or whatever the hell.
So she actually comes from a family of drummers. She was born on May 29th, 1983. And I have a couple links that I'm going to drop in the chat. If anybody hasn't seen Annika Niles play drums, I'll drop those links in there. Actually, I have to do a few things here. So let me go to this. And I'll copy, I'll paste, and I have to go back to our YouTube channel.
For sure.
And put that in there. So this is one of her videos. So take a look at it. You don't have to take a look at it now, but just for future reference. And here is another one from her. And then I'll go into a little bit more about her. Here's the next one. Let's paste that in there. Make sure I get back to StreamYard. Okay, they're popping up now. So she started playing at age 6. She was basically taught by her father. Now, here's the interesting thing about her family. Her father is a professional drummer. She has 2 uncles and a cousin that are drummers. So it's basically a drum line in an entire family.
Yeah.
She has released 4 solo albums, toured with renowned artists, and most recently with Jeff Beck. Now, Jeff Beck is a master guitarist. He only picks the best musicians to go on tour with him. He picked Annika Niles and another female to play bass. And I watched a couple of the videos from that tour in 2002. And it's absolutely amazing. So if you're getting the respect from Jeff Beck, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, to go on tour with him, you're doing something right.
Absolutely.
So how did Rush find out about her? Well, it was actually Getty's bass tech, whose name is Scully, that was on tour with Annika, and he was the bass tech for the bass player on Jeff Beck's tour, and talked about it. Go ahead.
Do you still have your music going?
I still have my music going?
Yes.
Turn it down. It's the TV. This $25 camera has a very sensitive microphone in it.
Yeah. No, just in case, the powers of YouTube be listening.
Yeah, we don't want to get that. We don't want to get that at all. Okay. So what is she known for? She's known for doing drum clinics, going around Europe and doing drum clinics, teaching people how to drum, different types of, the way she drums. She's in the fusion to prog, to rock, to pop. In 2016, she was named by Modern Drummer the #1 up and coming artist. In 2017, from Drum Magazine, she was named the #2 best fusion drummer. And in 2018, from Music Radar, she was ranked the #1 best clinic drummer of that time. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to her drumming. Now, I want to throw this out to Maiden. How is she going to fit in with Rush? Is she going to play strictly the way Neil played, or is she going to add something dynamic to it? Now, her drum kit is basically only 6 drums and maybe 4 or 5 cymbals. Neil has
everything
wrapped around him.
Now, before we just quickly touch on that, just a couple of people coming in just to say hello. CCB, thanks for being here. Chuck, Sensei Domino, Epiphany, happy birthday. Sensei said El Sabarino, who's a Spanish drummer who's awesome on YouTube as well. Mm-hmm. And he plays with he was just asked to go on tour with another famous Latin band. I think, to answer your question, I just wanted to hit on Tony's comment.
Absolutely.
I think she's going, that's going to be what they're going to have to learn, is the
Mhm.
subtleties of Neil's feel and those sounds between the beats. Now, where she has a smaller kit, she'll probably add more stuff to it because she's going to have to,
She's going to
because there's
have to.
more depth. But
That's
she
what
can
I think.
also play the hell out of that 5-piece.
She
I
can.
watched her. She's a jazz drummer. She's all
Yeah.
about off the cuff inspiration stuff, 32 notes. She was talking about quintuplets, not triples, but quintuplets.
Not triplets. Yeah.
Quintuplets. So
Yeah.
that's 5 beats per measure per one, guys. If you don't know, it's something.
The first time I saw one of her videos, she started out playing like Danny Carey, where it was kind of like this offbeat rhythm that didn't sound right at the time, but then you start getting the timing of everything and it sounds good. And then she'll rip into something like Neil Peart does. And she plays it so effortlessly and she's so confident in just the way that she presents herself that I don't think that there's any task out there that she can't do,
and sort of low key, it's funny you mentioned Danny Carey, because before they made the announcement it was going to be Annika, I kept thinking to myself, oh, I hope it's Danny Carey, man. I hope he comes and does something with them for at least a couple of shows, or that era or that level of drumming, the Mike Portnoy's of the world.
Right.
But she's in that conversation after what I watched. I watched her play with Jeff Beck. She's good. She's got chops.
She's really good.
Will she be able to? Because you don't want her to copy Neil's.
No,
style.
You don't want a
Neil
replacement. You want somebody to. Oh God, how can I put this?
Compliment it.
Put their own kind of spin on it. It's not going to be every note or every drum beat is going to be exactly the same. I think for some songs it's going to have to. I mean, if you play Tom Sawyer, there's no other way to play Tom Sawyer than the way that Neil plays it.
No.
There are just certain songs that are just going to have to be there. Now, in the future of Rush, I think that they should go in a more if they ever record an album or something like that, you can kind of keep the lyrics out of it. Let's just have a jam session. Let's just let them jam. Let Geddy play and let Alex play and let Annika play. If there's ever, a collaboration where they put something out like that, I think it would be really interesting. I think it would be the next kind of step of Rush, because you're not going to write songs like Neil did.
No,
because he was going to put down lyrics.
That was his gift to the band. Other than his percussion, was his lyric skills and his writing skills, and the amount of intelligence and depth required that he had to write the way he did. That's one in a lifetime type stuff.
It is.
And Geddy, Ged and Alex wrote stuff too.
Yeah.
But the lyrics.
But you could tell when Geddy and Alex wrote stuff.
Yeah, you could.
There was a difference. There was something where you could take a word that, wouldn't rhyme or fit with anything, and Neil would find a way to work it in there.
Yeah, or know the word that would replace that.
That would replace exactly
8 levels above in conversation, right?
Exactly. Yes, Alan, they are adding a keyboard player. I have someone in mind that they could add to that. Has anybody ever heard of Tyler Warren?
No, I have not.
Okay. All right. So Tyler Warren just toured with Queen. He played keyboards.
Okay. I'm not a fan of Queen, so that's
okay.
Why it's
all right. That's fine. But
I think they're sellouts, but anyway.
But here's something, and I'm going to put this in the link right now. This is something that Maiden, you're going to be ecstatic about. Tyler Warren plays every instrument.
Oh, okay. If he was in Flock of Seagulls, then yes.
He wasn't in Flock of Seagulls. He wasn't in Flock of Seagulls.
Oh shit, Johnny. You know who I would have liked though? I don't know if he would have been too old.
Did that pace there? Did I get the right one?
I do see a link there, sir.
I saw it, but it kind of pasted before I actually hit paste in there. So that was kind of weird. All right. So this is, yeah, it's a different one. Okay. So Tyler Warren recreated the entire Permanent Waves album by himself. He played drums, he played bass, he played guitar, he played keyboards, he played the xylophone, and he sang on everything. If there was one healthy egg and a sperm from Getty, Alex, and Neil hit that egg at the same exact point and created this person, that's who it would be. He did that, and just about a year ago, he also did Grace Under Pressure.
Oh, neat. I will check him out.
Entirely by himself. Absolutely amazing talent. These are the people that have so much talent that it's just like they don't hit the mainstream. You know, you find them on a deep dive in YouTube when you start going down a rabbit hole and you start finding these people. And you're like, wow, these people exist, and it's just they're absolutely amazing. So check out Tyler Warren. I think he would be amazing as a keyboardist for Rush, and also he can play any instrument and do backup vocals too.
You know, my choice would have been a very gentlemanly fellow, an Englishman named Don Airy.
Don Airy? I thought you were going to say Rick Wakeman.
Well, you know what? I think Don Airy would have been able to hold those shoes as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Ozzy and Purple and all those bands that he played with, right?
If you look at the Rush keyboard parts, they're not that difficult. They're not complex. They're not complex like Getty's bass or something like that.
No, because Getty's doing the complex bass while he's doing the keyboards. He can't do both.
It's kind of like a filler. It kind of just brings everything together and kind of tightens everything up with
exactly. You know that quick little keyboard lyric or that keyboard lick during In the Trees?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's just it's not classical piano that we're talking about. We're just talking about, you know, keyboards. Keyboards are kind of a filler.
Classical piano rules.
What's that?
The classical piano rules. I love classical piano.
Exactly. Okay, so we kind of hit on everything that I have on the notes, except for people are already coming on YouTube. Oh, set list leaked. Really? Has the set list been leaked? I don't think they have a set list yet. I think they're working on set lists because they said that they're going to come together. What I heard was with like 30, 35 songs, but they're not going to be playing the same set every show, which is something completely unusual for Rush, because every time you go to see Rush, if you saw them one day and saw them the next day, they're playing the same exact set list, but only because of the pyrotechnics, all because of the video and all that other stuff. So,
and most of those songs are epic, like 10, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. They're not effing around. They're not going to play 3 12-minute songs back to back.
Right. So the lighting guys got enough to do with those songs, you know, and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
And, and the sequencers that they use on stage. Yes, Rush uses sequencers. Okay. That's how they get the full sound. They admit it, but they trigger the sequencers. It's not like they're playing to a track or anything like that. It's a sequencer that they'll hit with their foot or hit on the keyboards, or Neil will hit with the drum. You know, that's what does it. But to do something like that, it's going to be another task for the entire crew there to change up the song, to change up the set, you know, every night. I think with the shows that they're playing for 4 nights, they're going to switch it up. They might switch like 2 or 3 songs or something like that.
Well, they're going to have to, right? Because that's sort of the draw of doing all of those shows. And
right. You're doing 4 shows in one spot. You don't want the same show every night.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You're going to want to add something and take something away. Unfortunately, you know, Limelight might be left out, but they'll throw in Closer to the Heart or, you know, something like that. So question to you, my friend. What 5 songs should be in every show?
Oh.
It's only 5. It's only 5. I know it's tough. It's tough.
That's a tough
It's
one.
tough.
Well, obviously, any part of 2112. So Temples of Spherics for sure. Working Man for sure. Since I love that song so much. Xanadu for sure. La Villa Stringiato for sure. I love that song. Anything
No,
from
we're
Crescent
we're
Steel.
talking like the full song.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
Okay.
yeah, Red Bar Shadow would be an awesome song to play.
Yep.
Passage to Bangkok, Between the Wheels, Mystic Rhythms.
Come on, you're going over 5. What 5 songs?
I know I can't help it. It's
I know, I know. But what 5 songs will be in every show?
Oh, you said that I would like. Okay, well,
No, we're going to get to that next.
Oh, okay. Well, we ate the dessert first, folks. Sorry. Hey, Cherokee girl. I think obviously Working Man's going to have to be in there because that's always a staple in most of the encores.
Right.
Finding My Way for sure.
A song that
Fly
they
by
really
Night.
song that they really don't do much. I have never heard them play Fly by Night ever.
That's why they have to do it.
No, that's on my I want list.
Now, here's my question. Do you think they would open with Bastille Day like they used to? I don't know. Because remember, some of this is nostalgia too, right? They're tapping into the nostalgia, so they're not going to do all brand new stuff.
You got the All the World's a Stage album there.
I do, because I want to talk about that after.
You have to think about what are the most popular Rush songs that everybody's going to want to go see. The songs that they have played in concert more than any other songs.
Limelight for sure.
Okay, that's on my list. All right, we're starting the list now.
Okay, so Working Man for sure. Limelight.
That's on my list. That's on my list.
Temples of Syrinx for sure. They're gonna have to do some kind of 2112 thing there.
They'll do
eventually.
something of 2112.
If it's R50, they're gonna have to touch 2112. They're
gonna have to. Yeah.
Tom Sawyer, of course.
Tom Sawyer's on my list.
Of course, Tom Sawyer. And for my last one, I'm stuck with that last one, but Subdivisions probably.
You're going to go
Subdivision. Closer.
Okay.
Or closer.
My 5 were going to be Limelight, Working Man, Tom Sawyer, just like yours, Xanadu, and Spirit of Radio.
Oh, well, yeah, because Xanadu is a killer song, man.
They're the 5 must-haves at every Rush concert. Now,
Xanadu.
Limelight was in and out of sometimes. Ever since they got back in 2001 and they did the Vapor Trails tour, Limelight's been in every show. Okay, but it was left out a lot. Tom Sawyer's been in every show. Working Man is another song that came back after 2001 and was in every show.
It did, and it became one of the encores.
Right. It was definitely one of the
because that was, if you remember, that was the encore medley.
Right.
Because they would do that and Finding My Way, be in the middle. Sometimes they do a whole lot of Love from Zeppelin. They'd switch it up from time, but it was always Working Man was always
Xanadu has pretty much always been there, and so has Spirit of Radio.
I love that song so much.
Been there. Yeah. I mean, they are in my mind, they are the 5 must-haves at every Rush show. So those 5 cannot go away.
Well, you have to have Hemispheres.
Now we're going to go to the 5 songs that you want.
I already told you what I want.
I know what you want.
I want them all, man.
I know you want them. I want them all too. But there's certain ones that are just not going to make the cut. You know.
I know, but see, I'm like purist, so I like the long.
I know.
I like the long songs.
I would.
It's Villa for sure for me.
What's that? La Villa? Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be there. Xanadu for sure. Those 2.
All right, Xanadu's on my number 1 list. The trees in the Xanadu. There you go.
Yes, because that's how they used to do it back in the 70s.
That's how they did it.
Right, because he'd do the tempo blocks in the middle.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So for sure, those 3.
Witch Hunt's another good one. Oh yeah.
Passage to Bangkok is one of my favorite Rush songs ever. And of course, if you're gonna honor Neil Peart, like they said they're gonna, and if you want to do a hologram, Mystic Rhythms, baby.
Mystic Rhythms.
Mystic Rhythms.
Yeah. Okay. So with me, I don't actually have them written down, but I would love to hear Fly By Night, because in the 29 shows that I went to, I never heard Fly By Night. And I would love to hear that. I don't know, Getty will never hit that high note, but
No.
I would love to hear that. Even if it's instrumental, I don't care. Another one
City
for
Cat
me.
Race.
Another one for me would be from Grace Under Pressure, Between the Wheels, which they've been playing.
Yeah.
Which they brought out of the vault. That is just an absolutely amazing song. A lot of great guitar work from Alex on that. Let's see. The Trees, if they don't do the Trees with Xanadu, then the Trees. I would like to hear, Bastille Day. I mean, it was just like, I've never heard Bastille Day, them do that live. And that was probably one of the first, if you want to call it, speed metal songs. I mean, that was a very fast-paced guitar work in that. And then the last one that I would like to hear would be from their last album, the last song, The Garden.
That's a cool song.
Cindy
Cat mentioned something as well. That was pretty cool. She said, what if they end up doing a shorter arrangement, like mix of some of this? They've done that before, Cindy Cat.
Like the R30 tour? Yes. I think that they would do, I think that they should do that, and I think that they will do something like that. Because the way they kicked off the R30 tour was absolutely amazing. They covered the first 7 albums with a short from one song from one of the albums
of everyone,
and then went right into Spirit of the Radio.
Which was epic as shit.
That was I saw them 3 times on that tour, and I was just like blown away every time that they took the stage, because the first time you don't know what it's going to be like, and then the second time it's like, oh yeah, give me more, and then the third time, yeah, give me more. Another song I would like them to do acoustically again would be Resist, because it sounded so much different. So different when they did it acoustically compared to the album version of that. Actually, the
what if I threw an honorable mention? I threw an honorable mention for number 6. Just came to me, and I don't think I've ever heard them play live. Not in a very long time. It does count, Tom. Tell the rules.
Actually, it's from mine would be from Roll the Bones. It would be Bravado. I think that they play that so well live, and it's only a 3-minute song, but the last like 2.5 minutes is just an Alex solo. It's a soaring solo from Alex.
Hey Chris, thanks for coming. For me, I think my 6th one would just came to me, and I haven't heard them play live in a very, very long time, maybe even if at all, would be Red Sector A. Which is an epic song that they did. Gary talks about his heritage, his grandparents, and all of that. And that's pretty epic.
How would they do that? I mean, that is all electric drums.
Yeah, exactly.
Keyboards.
Now I could see them doing Between the Wheels, though, realistically on tour with Annika. That would be right up her alley.
That would be right up her alley. But when it comes to like the electric drum kit and all that stuff, I don't know how they're going to pull. I think a lot of the 80s may be pulled out of this tour, which is going to be a shame, because there's a lot of great songs there. I mean, they can still do Subdivisions, but there's certain songs that were really heavily keyboard / electric drum influenced that just may not make the cut, unfortunately.
Anything from your record. Anything from your Signals. God.
From there, Oh wow, I would I would love to see Territories again. Territories is probably my favorite song off of that album, just because how Alex had to pick it up with his guitar and do those riffs throughout the song.
Yeah, it's an epic record. There's always so many little treasures and hidden gems on this catalog. Even the quote unquote crappy songs that were part of the synth era there's so many gold nuggets.
I'm really getting back into that synth era, and I'm looking at a different viewpoint now. See, I was not the Rush prog guy. I was the Rush guy. I got in the 80s, so it was like Permanent Waves, it was Moving Pictures, it was Signals, and when everybody turned their nose up to Signals and is like, oh, this isn't Rush, this isn't what they're all about. I said, well, remember the last song on Moving Pictures, Vital Signs? Everybody's got to deviate from the norm, which was kind of like really a kind of heavy, kind of keyboard kind of song. It kind of told you something.
Yes. Nature Dog, thank you so much for
Nature Dog.
I really
awesome.
appreciate it. But yes, Vital Signs. Vital Signs is another great epic song.
And Neil didn't have electric drums at that time, but he had this, block on his chest that was picking up the drums as almost like electric drums. So it was, telling you, hey, we're going to change. That's right. No one gets to heaven without a fight. Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah.
And thanks, Cindy Cat. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, ladies. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your support. And we love geeking out on this stuff. And we're going to talk about Rush a lot coming up.
I love this. I mean, we're getting quotes from Rush songs. This is awesome. This is the best. This is what I'm talking about.
Like, this is what we're doing this for. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of All the World's a Stage, because I think that would, apropos being how we're talking about sort of what Rush may look like going on tour here coming up. I am so happy, and I'll tell you why. I saw the look on Alex Lifeson's face when they did that announcement that he was so happy to do this again, and so is Getty. They were like, just, you know what, this time is right to do this for our fallen brethren. And they mentioned him more than once.
Oh yeah,
this was more about tribute to Neil Peart and his legacy with Rush, and the way it ended was horrible. So let's make sure we write a new ending to the story. And NBP says she had the biggest crush on Alex. You and a lot of other people, NBP for sure. Even as some guys, when we watched her play guitar, we're like, oh, we wish we could be like him. But
even when he had the flock of seagulls hair, for God's sakes.
I know, right? Hey, nothing wrong with that. But you know what? That's cool. That's cool, Alan. Because you remember the last tour ended in LA. Alan. So they're picking up this tour in LA. Which again is just a continuation, a new evolution of this wonderful band.
They're doing everything right. And I heard everybody saying, oh, why aren't they ending in Toronto? Why are they ending in Cleveland? Because that's where Cleveland they got their start in Cleveland. They didn't get their start in Toronto. They got their start in Cleveland. They're from Toronto. They played Toronto. But Toronto couldn't break the United States. Cleveland broke it for them.
Exactly. And NBP, I can't say I've done that too, but I can appreciate your dedication there. I really can. That's awesome. And you know what? There's been many times Rush played high schools, stadiums, bars, and
churches.
Everything in between. Yeah. Everything in between. Yeah. So they played their dues. They paid their dues in Ontario, especially.
They did it the right way. They toured.
They really did. They really did. Yeah. And you know what? It's John Rutsey was the original drummer for Rush, who was not Neil Peart by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But a good rock and roll drummer, good straight ahead drummer. But Rush wouldn't have done anything like they did if they didn't have Neil Peart, man. It
I
opened
know.
up a whole. It brought up all the rest of their game to be at where he was at.
Yeah, it
And
really
and
did.
I like so he won't be replaced, but he will be honored, and I think that's the proper place for it
I
to be.
don't. I don't. I hate I hate that word replace. He's not going to be replaced.
Exactly. That's the point I want to make
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people are expecting
They're
that,
not
right?
replacing him. It's like they're continuing on. But I just not a fill-in, not a replacement, not a new Rush. It's
Exactly.
just like they want to do it and they need a drummer. I mean, she's
Exactly.
not going to go out and proclaim herself as the next Neil Peart. She's just going to say, "Hey, I'm just drumming for Rush." You
Yeah.
know?
And we're going to honor this wonderful drummer, percussionist that we had for 30
Yeah.
years, who
Now,
basically rewrote the book on how to play drums in a rock
now
and roll band.
the other thing, the Neil tribute. They said they're going to do one every night for Neil. How's it going to go? Because I was thinking about this for the whole time, and then like 5:30, right before like an hour before I was going to go on with you to do the backstage, it kind of hit me, and I got like really freaking emotional when I thought of this. What if it was a 3D hologram of Neil
Yeah. And
drumming
doing
on
like
stage? And I
Mystic
was like,
Rhythms
oh
or
my God.
Batterista or any one of his drum solos,
Exactly.
timepieces,
I don't
Pieces of
care if
Eight,
it's
that big
recorded,
epic thing they do.
but if something like that happened where it's a 3D hologram of Neil on stage doing that, I don't think there would be a dry eye in the house. Yeah.
Grade really hit it. It would be Buddy Rich,
Big
Neil
band Neil.
Peart.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
be. It would have to be. Hey, if Kiss can do it and they're still alive and they're just doing it because they're shills,
Yeah.
we could do
National
this
Park
for Neil
Princess.
because
That's exactly the way I felt when I thought of it. I had chills and I started to well up. I was about ready to cry. I was like, oh my God. That would be like the ultimate, to
it
see
would be.
something like that.
It'd be wild. I
Yeah.
agree, guys.
I mean, even if it was like just one song that, they moved the drum kit, Annika's drum kit away, and they projected him, and it was just Getty and Alex in the front and him in the back in a 3D image, like, whoa.
Yes. This image.
Yeah,
And then he comes and sits from
exactly.
behind and he's wearing his kimono and he's got the long hair and the mustache and he's rocking out the 70s porn stash. Hell yeah. Long live the professor. The man, the myth, the
That would
legend.
be me. And believe me, they have the technology. And Rush has always been on the cutting edge of technology, whether it be musical or visual or anything. Well, except for the time stand still video. We'll forget about that one. But
I still like that track though.
oh
The
yeah, the
video is
track
kind
is
of lame.
great, but the video is just like,
It was pretty
okay,
lame.
what were they thinking?
And you know that's funny is when we talk about this, and it's actually kind of serendipitous, full circle. Is this All the World's a Stage cover has an empty stage and an empty kit of Neil's Caressa Steel kit, and like that kit was fucking legend, man.
Yeah.
Like Caressa Steel is one of my favorite records of all time, of course. Like why wouldn't it be? But this is just epic as hell.
Well, we
I
have
love
to
this
talk
album.
about Caressa Steel because I didn't get into Caressa Steel until about 5 years ago. Really? No, I mean, out of all the albums that I had, Caressa Steel was the toughest one for me to get into. It was like they went from their first album to Fly By Night to Caressa Steel, and I was like, what? It was the last album that I bought of Rush.
Oh man, I love Caressa Steel.
I know you do, and I finally had the time to actually listen to it and deep dive into it and appreciate it for what it was.
Here's a young Alex for you, NPP.
There you go.
But it's only Getty's butt this time, not Alex. But I'm trying for you. But like anything from this era too, if they even did the hologram of or the mock-up of it would be epic. But this is the original trifold All the World's a Stage cover here. So we got some young Getty and some young Neil Peart here. And some
Mine's in a
epic
frame
ones.
on the wall. I'm not taking it down.
But this had some
But
epic
that's it.
tracks.
Yeah, that's the one that I have, the trifold. Yeah.
And of course, here's some of the albums we're talking about here, right? Like the
Yep.
Working Men record, and then Fly By Night, Caress, and then 2112 here. And then they went on tour and did this wonderful business.
4 albums, live album. 4 albums, live album.
Yeah,
The way they
that's right.
did it.
Now,
Until they got to the 2000s, and it was like 1 album, live album. You know?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this one did start with the classic lineup from Caress and from the 2112 tour, which is Bastille Day, Anthem, Fly By Night, In the Mood, and Something for Nothing, which I think is a great track.
Mhm.
Something for Nothing is a very cool rock and roll track. But one track I really, really think is underrated from the Rush catalog is Lakeside Park.
Lakeside Park, yeah.
I love that song. I've been to Lakeside Park and living in Ontario and whatnot. Yeah, but I wasn't taking videos back then. I wish I would have. But like you see here, the whole 2112, you got everything, right? The overture, the temples.
You're missing 2. You're missing 2 sections.
Oh, yeah. There
were 7. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, they cut 2 of them out. That's fine.
And then side 3 was By Thor and In the End. And then, of course, side 4 is Working Man Finding
Hey, Goody, have a good night, man. Appreciate you stopping in.
Thanks, Goody. Appreciate you, pal. And we'll check out your short. What You're Doing is another one that didn't play live very often either.
Yeah, here's the other thing. On the CD, I think they cut out a few of those songs.
Interesting.
Yeah, Working Man Finding My Way is the last song, and it's 14 minutes and 20 seconds on the CD. Well, CDs only hold 80 minutes.
That's true. So they would have had to simmer it down. Probably
Yeah.
They cut out those other 2 pieces of 2112.
Yeah.
They were running out of room on the record.
Yeah, well, mine has all of it. I mean, it has the 5 pieces on it. Yeah, that's probably why they did cut it out from the record too. Yeah.
No, this is the epicness right here. There's these Mercury Chicago skyline labels with the old Chicago architecture in the background there. I love it so much. I look out for these Mercury printings because some of these printings are different than the reissues, right? There's
absolutely, yeah.
Edited out and certain little bits and bobs, but I couldn't argue for $16 to pick up this.
No, not at all,
no, man, not at all.
Not at all.
And it plays all right. It's a little noisy at the start, some soft passages, but that's why it was 16 and not 40, right?
Yeah.
But this is an epic one. And again, I think for me, I think that would be the perfect way to honor him is they showed this image and have him walking in behind, sitting down and playing something. That would just be that would be something else, man.
Right.
You know, just I don't know. It hits me differently, I guess. Because again, like I wouldn't play drums if it wasn't for this guy, right?
So if you were going to do a medley for Neil to remember him by, just by the lyrics that he wrote, what songs would you include? I have 3 that I put down that I think would be pretty poignant to the memory of Neil.
Oh shoot, that's
because I had time to do this off the cuff. It's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it a bit more.
All right, my three would be After Image, Suddenly You Were Gone, From All the Lives You Left Your Mark Upon, The Garden, absolutely. It's like his whole life process, and that was the last song on Clockwork Angels. And the other one would be Time Stands Still.
Yeah, I would have said Time Stands Still for sure.
Yeah, I knew that would probably be your first one that came to your mind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Freeze this moment a little bit longer, make your sensation a little bit stronger. I mean, even though the rigors of touring and all that stuff and the toll it takes on your body and all that stuff, it's just like we just want to go back and do that just one more time. Yeah.
And you know what? And for us who may not get to go do it live, who don't have the $3,000 to fork out for GA seats, it's going to be captured again for posterity. So we'll be able to watch it and we'll be able to see it unfold, and it's going to be awesome. And
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to have that. It's like, okay, so it's like back in '96, right, when Kiss got back together. If you're a lifelong Kiss fan, you never thought they would ever get back together, the original
Right.
members of the makeup. And when they did, and they played in Detroit, and they lit it up, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Kiss is back! Oh my God, Kiss is back!" Like, it's like that for me now. Not that they're back, but they're back.
But they're back.
And so for me, I'm pretty stoked about that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, just to see the footage. And dude, I would love to be on just a fly on the wall in that practice space with her and them, and going through that process of them showing her the subtleties of his style. Because that's not something like you really have to be a fan and know this stuff, right?
Yeah, I think you really have to be a fan to know that. But here's the one thing. I saw Neil do a drum clinic out in California, and it was in the 90s, and he played Time Stands Still. And I never realized how many different drums and other parts that he was hitting in there because of all the keyboards and Geddy's bass and Alex's guitar and all that stuff. And it was just like, I was just like, I thought it was just like a regular beat or something like that. No, he's hitting all kinds of stuff in there.
Time Stands Still like 3 or 4 different polyrhythms all at the same time.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Ken C, fashionably late.
Hey, Kenny, thanks for coming
here. That's all that matters.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah. So when you isolate, the instruments in a Rush song, it's like it's you hear all these different nuances that you kind of lose when it's all together. You know? Because with me, Rush was all about the music. It was all about the sound. It was about the beat. It was about the groove. It was about, listening to the bass, because I was a bass player when I first started out. I listened to Geddy's bass. That's what I tuned in on was the bass, and then, and then everything else. But when you isolate it and then you put it all together, it's just like, wow. It's like, it sounds like when everything's together, you're missing so much, you're missing all these little subtleties.
And for Neil, it was the ghost notes that he played that quote unquote didn't play, that your mind thought he was playing, that would set him apart. And then that added more, like, he played over the bar all the time. He played over the bar and the measure all the time. Like, who does a 3/5 beat or 6/8 or an 8/10 or 12/13? Like,
Genesis, King Crimson, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Yes, they're about the only ones that really do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
there's not many.
Not in a 3-piece band.
No, and not in a 3-piece. Well, Emerson, Lake and Palmer would be the closest. But not like Rush did it.
Yeah, why is that for sure?
Yeah.
Why is that for sure, MPP? For sure.
Oh God, yeah.
That's one of the best songs that
actually almost won a Grammy. Believe it or not. It was up for a Grammy. Didn't win it, but it was up. I think they lost to a Police song. A song by the Police, who were very hot at that time.
They were. And again, another band with a fucking awesome drummer. Another guy with a percussionist drummer.
And another band that influenced Rush. And Neil's not afraid to say it.
No, he said Stuart Copeland was one of his best favorite drummers.
Yeah, that's when they started introducing a little bit of reggae into their music, like Spirit of the Radio. I'll never forget when I was in a band, and me and my girlfriend at the time, we were down in Philly or something like that, and it was this reggae band, and they played Spirit of the Radio reggae style. And I was
nice.
Oh my God.
I love reggae too.
I went back to the guys in the band and said, "Oh man, I just saw this reggae band and they did Spirit of the Radio, all reggae." And they're like, "What? No, can't be done." I said, "There's so much reggae in that song. Are you kidding me?"
No, I said, totally.
Absolutely amazing. I was like blown away. I love to see when other musicians take on a Rush song and do it in their own style. It's unreal. Oh, come on.
And this is the Jamaican one, the original. This is the Jamaican copy. Yes,
right.
and the Bad Brains. Let's
How
go,
many
Bad
Bob Marley
Brains.
how many Bob Marley cards do you want to see? Come on, how many? How
Let's
many?
go.
I can keep going.
Yeah, I know. They like it's great stuff. Like I just love the drumming. I'm a drummer. I
Yep.
love beats. I love the sound of beats, different kinds. And reggae's in there. Yes, you're right, Danielle. And we haven't missed a day out there in 30 years. But I think when Neil went on his kick, when he went and trained with Ginger Baker and redid his grip, like he was always seeking. He's always seeking
Yeah.
knowledge, checking
Always
out
wanted to learn.
African drumming, Latin
Absolutely.
drumming, reggae.
You hear
Big
the
band.
African drumming on moving pictures. Not moving pictures, I'm sorry, Power Windows.
You totally do.
Big time.
Totally do. Yeah.
Yep.
And that big band influence from Buddy Rich. Like when
Mhm.
Buddy Rich had that heart attack in the middle of his drum solo and kept drumming, didn't die. He kept going. Like, hello. You know. And
Yeah.
and you know what? NPP, it's gonna be great because like what we were talking about while you were on the road before you got here, is there's gonna be so much footage of these shows, plus
Oh, yeah.
probably a DVD, because they're not talking about R50, but they're talking about R50.
Yeah.
You see,
They're not, but they are.
Right. So I think that'll be because remember we had R35, R40, they were DVD sets, and then logically this would make sense that this would be the next.
Oh, it's 10 years after. I mean, 2015 was R40. You know,
yeah, so it makes sense. To do it.
I guess it was 2025 or 2005 when they did.
Oh yeah,
or it might have been a little bit earlier than that. It might have been. I think it was a little bit earlier. It was right after Vapor Trails that they did the feedback album, and then they went out and they did the R30 tour.
Now, you want to know what I regret?
What's that?
Had that feedback record on vinyl.
You had the vinyl?
And I sold it.
Oh my God.
I know. I could have put my kid through university another year had I sold it.
Why did you sell that?
I'm stupid.
Yeah, you're damn right it was stupid.
I never professed to be smart, guys. And
that's when vinyl started to somewhat kind of make a comeback.
Yeah.
They were just testing the waters with it at that point.
Because I really wanted Vapor Trails on vinyl, and I couldn't get it, so I settled for feedback.
Yeah,
and then
I can't find that. I'm only missing 3 albums on vinyl, and I'm looking at the prices of them. They're $200 to $500 a piece. So it's like, I don't want to pay that money just to say, hey, I have it. It's just like. You got to kind of draw the limit there.
I had a whole shit ton of the radio 12 inches too, like Red Sector and Vital Signs and all those. I sold those too because I'm an idiot. I was stupid. Hey Joe, thanks for coming, man.
All right, so
rebuilding.
The last part of this that I would like to talk about is the feedback that I'm seeing on YouTube and Facebook and all this stuff, the cost of the tickets and blah, 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 this and that and the other thing. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, the tickets haven't gone on sale yet. They don't go on sale until Monday. Okay. You had to get into line and get into a queue to get the tickets in these cities. What you're seeing online is secondary market prices. Now, this is the one thing that I don't like about it. Is the secondary market, there's certain StubHub and all that other stuff. They can buy blocks of seats before we can get those seats.
Yeah, because they're owned by the same people.
Problem. Let it open to the general public first, and then whatever is left over, they can go to StubHub and SeatGeek and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
Because they're buying up tickets, and I'm seeing nosebleeders for $300. I'm seeing floor seats for $3,000. I'm seeing VIP backstage pass tickets for $6,000. Yeah, $6,000.
Yeah,
they're not even letting the fans get them. All right. and I see this all, and then I see the comparison. Well, back in the day, I could get a ticket to go see Rush for $12.50. Yeah, you could back in 1980. Okay,
Yeah.
and in the last time I paid $300 for floor seats for Clockwork Angels, but I was guaranteed in the first 15 rows floor seats and all kinds. Yeah, I got a T-shirt and laminates, backstage pass, and other
exactly.
stuff. But it was a package, $300. Okay, and I thought, hey, that's more than reasonable. If I can get all that stuff, that's fine. And guess what? When we got it, we didn't know where we were sitting until we got there. We went to the box office, we picked up our tickets, and we looked at them and was like, okay, wow, we're 3 rows from the stage. Oh my God, we're dead center. We're right in front of Neil. Getty's here. Alex is here.
Awesome,
Neil's here. I'm like, oh my God. It was like Rush was playing for us. Best $300 I ever paid in my life. But now that these secondary sellers see a market for this, and they blocked off a bunch of seats, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Well, the other thing is Ticketmaster owns StubHub, so there's a lot of sleight of hand going on here, but
there's a lot of sleight of hand going on there. I don't mind paying. If they were in Philly and they said, okay, I can get you in the lower level for $200 a seat, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not spending $600. I'm sorry.
No, you can't. It's redonkulous.
I'm sorry. And all I need is one more show to make it 30 shows. My goal was 30 shows.
Mine was 25 for Maiden, so I can empathize with you there. I hit it.
But I am not spending $600 to make that number 30. And
hey, I did.
That's what kills me.
I did front row for Legacy of the Beast for Maiden, front row Toronto first night, and we were dead center front row, and it was 180. That's all.
180. There you go. There you go.
And that was perfect. And,
that's reasonable.
And you were entered into a draw to be first to the barrier, which is when the gates open 30 minutes before everyone else, so you can stand on the barrier and just wait. And that was worth it for me. Yeah.
Get crushed by the rest of everybody else that came in.
Yeah, but I was tough. I can handle it. But yeah, it's funny. There's it's not the same as camping out with the boys on Friday night. Tickets go on sale Saturday morning, and you're pulling an all-nighter with a big thermos of coffee and a bunch of grass, right? Like, it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah, you're outside of a department store, and they have the Ticketmaster in there, and you go in, and you're waiting in line. I remember for Genesis tickets, I mean, the tickets went on sale in January. It was 10 degrees outside, and we waited outside for hours to get tickets. And the concert was in, when the hell was it? It was in end of May. Of course, we didn't listen to much of the concert because the Flyers were playing the Oilers in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs that year. So right across the street at the Spectrum.
Gradeworthy said he saw Priest and Megadeth third row for $20. That would have been sweet.
Yeah,
I saw Priest with Black Label the last time KK Downing played with Priest, and that was still $100. But it was worth it for me at the time, right? Like, things were different. Times were different. The cost of living wasn't 8 times what it was as it is now, and the big job and all that stuff. But I couldn't do it now. I couldn't.
You got to think about just for these bands to tour now. It's ridiculous for like the trucking companies to come and take their equipment, and you're talking like 6-7 tractor trailers, and you got your buses and all that other stuff, and plus you have to pay for the venue. And they. It's insane.
Hell yeah, Joe. Hell yeah. Slayer in Hershey, PA. I don't think there could be anything more hardcore than Slayer in Hershey. That would have been a dope ass show. It's like going to see Megadeth and Slayer in Hamilton. Everybody's cool during the show, and then right after, everybody's going to beat each other up. It's like, woohoo, Hamilton. But again, great talk tonight about Rush. Everybody, can you hit the like button, please? And we appreciate everybody supporting the channel and what Mike and I are trying to do here, and the content shift of me going more to music. I got a card thing going, but it's on something else. I'll share it when I'm ready. And I'm really happy to talk about music. I love music as much as cards, actually more than cards, and I love hanging out with this guy here too.
I'm kind of there. I'm kind of there too with you. I mean, I like cards. I like cards a little bit more when it was actually a little bit more affordable. You know,
Yeah.
now it's just becoming a little bit ridiculous. I'm going to put some links to Annika Niles.
Yeah, go check her out.
At the end here, please check out Annika Niles, the new drummer. Well, I shouldn't say the new drummer, the drummer that is touring with Rush. And also check out Tyler Warren, an amazing, just all around musician who did the entire Permanent Waves album by himself, played all the instruments, and you can do a deep dive and you can watch him do Grace Under Pressure also. So
sweet. Let's go check that out, everybody. Next weekend, we're going to talk about Supertramp and our love of Supertramp. We both love Supertramp and grew up with them. And yes, I did. Ken, I haven't got back to you yet, but I did. It was cool. And we'll talk about Supertramp next week. We'll keep talking about Rush. We'll keep talking about Metallica. We're going to keep talking about Iron Maiden. We're going to keep talking about the music we all grew up loving. And it's
3 live shows, 3 different Rush shirts. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going.
and Football Jesus loves you and says thanks for supporting the channel. And for the ladies that gave us some super chats tonight, thank you so much. We certainly
thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys.
I'm glad to see Danielle Davis in the chat because she was one that's been supporting my channel since day one. Wasn't able to get to the earlier Sunday shows because they were later, similar to you. It was too late in the evening, so we're doing it. We're doing it now, and this is where we're going to stay. So we appreciate everybody for coming out, and we'll see you all in the next one.
All right, have a great night, everybody. See you next week.
Bye. See you later.